Welcome back inside the Curry Christian Life Center in Pulaski, Tennessee. Martin Methodist College as Campbellsville falls short here this afternoon to Bethel University. And Coach, 3 games, 3 days. You knew this was going to be a challenging weekend. Obviously a little short-handed, but not the start that you guys had hoped for.
No, it wasn't, but this was good for us. I'm going to say I think we needed a game like this. By far the best team we've played. No offense to the other teams, but very well-coached team, a team that has had some postseason success. And we've been preaching to our guys that don't be satisfied. We got a lot we got to get better at. We've been pretty poor guarding the basketball, defensively jumping to the direction. And I knew sooner or later if it was either going to buy in and start doing it or a night like tonight would happen. So hopefully our guys will have a short memory, but let this one sink in for a little bit because, again, sometimes you get a false sense of your team, and our guys definitely had that. And you can sort of see it coming a little bit in practice, trying to get them to refocus a little bit. And you could tell early on in the game, Bethel was just more ready to play than we were.
Well, you guys shot the basketball just 32% in the first half. You kind of dug a hole before the second period. There was some foul trouble to go with that. The foul trouble played a large role tonight. 56 fouls is that's a ton in any ball game, but it felt like nobody could really get into a great rhythm.
It did play a factor, but not really. I'm going to say by the time the fouls were really getting called, they already had a lead. And again, we didn't do the right things to chip into that lead and fix ourselves. We tried to whenever we got down, and again, we've not been down like this. It came down to, I'm going to be the hero. I'm going to be the guy that gets it all back. And it can't happen like that. It's got to be a team effort on both ends of the floor. And again, we needed a game like this as we continue to move forward, and hopefully we'll learn from this and get better.
A short bench today, you really didn't have a lot of options to go down and try to find a spark, so limited with Hagan being out, Andre Applewhite not on the trip, Kelton Ford unavailable. You still wait to get Kamal Richards healthy. This team could look completely different in a few weeks and months.
It will, and you know, again, it goes back though, I'll never make excuses. It's just not the way I've ever done anything. Hagan this morning thought he may have a chance to go. He's been sick. And then as the trip sort of kept going, he just kept feeling worse. And I think if I had said, hey, let's see if we can get a few minutes out of it, he would have definitely tried. But my goal is hopefully get him some rest to where he can maybe go tomorrow. You know, he's getting closer. He's got the wire off, and obviously he'll be a great added addition when he can. And those other guys will be a great added addition as well. But having a short bench, you know, the foul trouble made it hard. We had to go zone. But again, it wasn't because of foul trouble. It's because of our defense. Our defense led to the fouls, which led to us having to zone some. And then the second half, I didn't want to stay in the zone. We're either going to learn to guard offensive man-to-man like I want to, or we were going to get beat. And that's what happened tonight.
Well, yeah, I know you don't want to make excuses, but I do want to find a positive to talk about here before I let you go. A very good day shooting the free throw, shooting the ball from the charity stripe. 64% coming in. You shot a high volume today at the line, 74% as a team.
And we've been working hard on that in practice. It's something that I probably early on took for granted because we do have a pretty good shooting team. And we didn't do it as much as we needed to, but we've really concentrated on that, and we've continued to get better. And again, there were a lot of bright spots, but there were more negatives than there were bright spots. You know, there were times we did cut into that lead because we got some stops, and there was a few times with 7 or 8 minutes, we had shots that get single digits, and by the time we finally got single digits, there just wasn't enough time left to get there. And then we got to where we had some silly fouls. And what you seem to happen is we haven't had a game like this, and our bad habits show. Whenever you start getting beat and you're playing from behind and you're not used to it, it's, are we going to do the things right to get back into it, or do we revert to our old habits? And you saw a lot of reverting to our old habits tonight, which hurt us.
You talk about letting this sink in, taking some positives away from this game. You have less than 24 hours to do that. What does the next 22 or so hours hold for the Tigers?
We'll watch the first half of this game with Faulkner and Georgetown's coming up. We play Faulkner tomorrow. I've watched none of Faulkner. Coach Vernon, our assistant, has really prepped for them. And what we'll do is we'll watch a half of that, and we're going to go back and we are going to let this one sink in. We're going to watch film tonight because sometimes, you know, you start trying to preach during the game and you have guys looking at you like you're crazy. And this is going to be a great learning tool because when our guys see the film, hopefully they'll realize, man, what Coach keeps saying we're doing wrong continuously over and over. And then it's either I'm going to get fixed or I'm going to get left behind and we got to find somebody else who's going to get it fixed. So again, we'll let this one sink in a little more than normal. I don't like to watch the film of the opponent we played the day of that night, but we've got to, because we've got to see our mistakes and fix ourselves.
With you not having watched film on Faulkner, I won't ask you X's and O's questions, but for the Tigers to be victorious, what do you need to see from your team?
You got to get better defensively. Bottom line, I'm going to say again, 77 points. To me, I just told our guys, if we score 77, I really don't think we should ever lose. I don't think it should happen. I think once you get to 75, you should be a good enough team defensively to get a win. Now, we gave up 90, so obviously we didn't do that tonight. But offensively, we're still trying to figure things out. But again, we got to 77, and we could have easily got to more. We missed a lot of good looks. You see our three-point percentage only 18. We were 5 of 28. We got to get to double figures like we always try to get to 10 threes. And for the most part, we had good looks. We just couldn't capitalize on them when we needed to.
Coach, thanks for stopping by, and best of luck to you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Coach Brent Vernon there as the Tigers fall short here this evening at Martin Methodist College to Bethel University 90-77.